Hello again, everyone. Saka here, and welcome back to Victoria 3 Let's Learn Japan. And we are actually Japan now, not the Japanese shogunate as the last time we changed the shogunate to landowners. And there is a bit of a revolution kicking off immediately for the universal suffrage. I think we got one tick of success, and then all of a sudden they started getting angry, so we're probably going to have to stop universal suffrage for now. That is a shame. And as soon as we got that done, now everyone's approval has changed and that revolution should tick down. What we are working on is the Meiji Restoration, and that requires us to fulfill our 3 restoration needs. So the easiest one may possibly be this: retire the samurai. They're not powerful, not part of the government, and that changed. We're running on the new 1.11 Earl Grey, and you can see we're an illegitimate government currently active, so that is a big change. This update may have single-handedly screwed everything up. We have the Imperial Rule Party with the Buddhist monks, the samurai. Where in the world is the samurai? Are they in marginalized now? So the samurai are now marginalized. That is a big change. The peasants, industrialists, and bourgeoisie are not in a party, and only the intelligentsia are in a constitutional reform party. So we need an election quick, fast, and in a hurry to sort of get our government reset. And that's going to be 4 years. We just had an election, so holy crap. Yeah, we're not going to be passing any laws anytime soon with that low legitimacy, but we are building a railway 11 weeks using our investment pool, 2.44 million, and because that is infrastructure, it's coming out of that investment pool, leaving our taxes alone. And revolution is now gone. A free government reform. Thank you. All right, so let's get on with the free government reform and see if we can reorganize our government a bit. All right, so if we pull the peasants out, that will lower. If we pull the industrialists out, that's going to lower. If we pull out the bourgeoisie, that will go up by 5, so that is a little bit better. If we put in the Buddhist monks, that will really boost up our contested government by plus 48. And yeah, I don't know if the peasants or industrialists are going to join a party in the next election, but we definitely don't want the landowners in. So just that change alone is going to be really good to get our legitimacy up past the 50% mark. We are a contested government. So plus 10 from very low income taxes. Let's see, total clout of the government, percentage of the votes in government. That is awesome. So it looks like we have set that, and holy crap. So we got a bunch of stuff activated thanks to the free government reform. That's good that they gave that to us for sure. All right, let's continue to play. So now that the samurai are out of government, that basically fixes the problem we were looking at last week. But now all Japanese buildings, currently 108 out of the 116, fulfill this requirement. At least one of these is not barracks, has not activated irregular infantry, infantry focus, and cannon artillery. Let's make sure that these are correct. Okay, so we have irregular infantry, and I believe that is not the case. With the Meiji Restoration, we need not activated infantry with not an infantry focus and not cannon artillery. Well, I know we're not running cannons and probably not infantry focus. Yes, we are. So we need to swap to, wow. So we can't have, hold on. So we can't have cannon artillery or infantry focus. Okay, so that means we have to get up to mobile artillery in these. We'll lose a little bit of money. We need artillery produced. Okay, so if we need to get the samurai out of here, we need to start producing artillery. And if we want line infantry, we need small arms. So we have a little bit of a direction we can go to now, just depending on if we have the goods to support small arms industry as well as artillery. That's going to be a thing. So we need more than 70% of all Japanese states currently 11.1, having an urban center equal to 5 and a railroad. And in Sakaku, Japan does not have closed borders enacted. So we need to open up our borders. Is that a law now that we're not doing a law? So just a 5% chance in either migration controls or no migration controls. That will radicalize the peasants if we go no migration or no controls. With regular controls, the industrialists, the bourgeoisie, and the trade unions support it, and the peasants just barely oppose. We will get the wrath of the peasants as far as that is concerned, but only a 5% chance to enact that. I mean, we might as well give it a shot. There's an 80% chance of debate, and if it is a good debate, that will be okay. We'll see if we get any sort of, yeah, they're unhappy with technology spread. That's fine, because really the only thing spreading to us is military tech. Students of the Blade and Kanto. Special privileges of the samurai class diminish. Their right to carry a sword as a status symbol has been called into question. So, yeah, officers and servicemen become radical, but the samurai loses strength. Well, they don't really have a whole lot of strength. And political strength and interest group approval. I mean, really, to take a samurai sword would be to be really bad for a samurai. Right now, the samurai is only 4.1% clout. I think for the time being, having them gain approval would be okay. They get to keep their swords for 5 years. We'll roll with that. And embassy to Russia, you say? Alexander Ignatiev, a senior Russian politician. Good relations. They have drafted treaties. Okay. Established strong diplomatic ties. Japan owes an obligation. I don't like that. Russia has much to teach us. Japan owes an obligation. Or deteriorating. So society technology spread would be really good. Let me take a look at our technology here. So society spread would be okay. I don't know what their obligation is going to be. But I like that technology spread. So we'll do a little bit technology spread. We'll see what the obligation is. If Russia gets into a conflict, they may want us to join, that sort of thing. We'll just have to take a look, see. Either that or they're just going to force through a trade route, which wouldn't be too awful bad. So for science, I'm going to give this a try. So 108 out of 116 fulfill the requirement of not being a barracks, which tells me we need to get rid of 8 barracks. But before we go ham on that, let's go to the barracks and take one out of Japanese Hokkaido. And now we'll see if that went up to 109. I want to see if that is the right thing to do. No, 108 out of 116. So reducing one of the barracks did not do anything. Okay, we'll keep an eye on this. Railway in Kansai is built up. They should be hiring, and that should get the price of transportation right down, as I think that was a big thorn in our side here. The cost of engines goes up just a little bit. The price of wood dropped, and transportation did go down indeed. All right, railway fully employed. We are subsidizing the railroad, which is good, keeping the price of transportation down. So since we want to change to the infantry, or at least change up our infantry in order to... Yeah, that hasn't changed. 108 out of 116, even though we built a railroad. That might not be a building. So what I want to do is build an arms industry in Kansai here. Yeah, 44 weeks. It's going to take nearly a year to get this arms industry up. Oh crap, the engine price really skyrocketed up. No wonder those railroads are running at a loss, especially if they have to pay top dollar for those engines. I don't know, we could subsidize, that's no big thing. We're still running a positive profit, and yeah, the investment pool is going up. So we are coming out of our own pocket to build that arms industry. So we'll keep on keeping on. Military railways, you say. The samurai have offered support. So it makes a railway in Shikoku. Although we get railway control for, yeah, extra legitimacy and lowering the group appeal of being a samurai themselves. So that is awesome. We'll take that. Language in the classroom. The Ainu. All right, so the Ainu, how many Ainu do we have? 74,000 Ainu. So they get better assimilation, but 20% more radicals from discrimination. 10%, so 7,000 radicals are going to come up. Or language is part of the heritage. Less radicals from discrimination. So right now, radicals are only at 870 from discrimination. The intelligentsia gets group approval. The bourgeoisie and the monks lose approval. Yeah, we'll teach them Japanese, let's say. All right, first vote coming up in the 4th of February. The industrialists are providing the migration controls here. We'll give it a try. Maybe we get lucky and roll that natural 20. Nope, law causes uproar in Micronesian communities. Yeah, I mean, so extra bureaucracy, Micronesian pops in Kyushu become more radical. Yeah, we want the enactment chance. So force the issue through. 15.8, and now we're sitting at a 71% chance of debate, 12% to stall from the peasants. So yes, census suffrage, people want to enact census suffrage, which I do as well. That would actually go towards ending, or no, that goes to the path to liberalism, which triggers the event freedom, equality, and brotherhood if we do pass census suffrage. So that is something I can actually get behind. And if the people want that, if the migration controls fall through, then we are going to enact that. Tea has gone up just 20 cents, but yeah, it makes that a little bit worse. What is the most expensive thing we're paying for? Engines massively, then tea. Yeah, once we get our arms industry up, we'll probably put in another engine shop to try to get that cost down for the railroads. But just trying to get the line infantry up to use up more of the small arms, and that will help with our retire the samurai. Nice, 109 out of 117. So yeah, it was 108 out of 116, I thought. So yeah, now I don't know, is this because I shut down a barracks? Why not? For science, we will close 8 barracks. Why not? Let's just do that. We'll close down all the barracks in Japanese Hokkaido. And we'll close down 1 in Kyushu. We're down to 32. We'll see if that has any impact whatsoever. All right, we'll swamp up this arms industry to produce small arms and artillery together. That way, when we make our change, we can go to mobile artillery, and we can go to line infantry, I would say. I think that would fulfill our needs to retire the samurai. So no infantry focus, no cannon artillery, and no irregular infantry. Nice, we got the labor movement unlocked. An extra expected standard of living from literacy, but 3 max workplace safety institutions. Unlocks different laws, the restricted child labor, the regulatory body, and the wage subsidies. And the Common People's Party leads to socialism. What I was doing was looking at tea. If there was a way we could import some from the British market, but Taiping looks to really get us some stuff. Extra revenue after. Yeah, let's start a tea trade import route from Taiping. That should, once we get going, lower the cost of tea tremendously, improving that standard of living. Psychiatry is spread to us, outstanding. Now, as far as production goes, so steel railway cars, 5 to 9 months, tanker cars for oil rigs, steel passenger carriages for railway, 3 years for electricity, 3 years for most of that as well. Let's power through the steel railway cars, 5 to 9 months. Yeah, price of tea is coming down thanks to those imports. Outstanding. All right, next vote for migration controls. Foreign faiths, you say? We should accept immigrants. Yeah, it lowers the Buddhist monks, but a 15% success chance. So now we're up to 30.6% chance of enacting migration controls on the 9th of December. That's right, Japanese, enjoy your brand new Taiping tea. All right, 1 week for our small arms production. We will see what they need to produce their small arms and artillery. Yeah, luxury goods. Okay, so they just need iron and hardwood. That should hire up. And now we need to place the demand. So in our military, Taro, we want line infantries. Regular troops like everywhere. Line infantries. And we didn't need infantry focus or cannon artillery, so we need mobile artillery. This may tank our funds for sure, but that will increase the demand. And we'll see. Boom! Fall of the Samurai was successfully completed. Outstanding. Japan has succeeded in reforming the armed forces and putting an end to the backward system of feudalism, the samurai warrior caste seemingly no longer having a place. So we can keep their status, so they lose the Bakufu ideology. And what is Bakufu? Strongly opposed council republic, strongly endorses monarchy. I mean, yeah, we're okay. We don't really get innovation for military. That's not really my focus. So let them keep their status as officers and nobles. And if we start losing a lot of money, what we can do is turn all this stuff back. We just needed to fulfill the needs here. So we'll see where we end up once this place gets fully employed. That way we can see what the costs of artillery and small arms are. And then we can adjust the amount of infantry we need and, you know, basically get these guys even Steven, give some the artillery and the small arms and keep the rest on regular muskets and whatnot. Boom, migration controls, outstanding. Discriminated pops disallowed from migrating. So that vote is over. And let me see, in Sakaku, that should complete. Boom, the end of Sakaku complete. So now there is only one thing left to do to get the Meiji Restoration, and that is industrialize Japan. So we're not in default. More than 70% of states has an urban center greater than or equal to 5 and has a railroad. So luckily, we've got some money in our investment pool. We can definitely put a railroad in our eligible Japanese states, our incorporated states. And then once we've got a railroad in all of those, we can boost their urban centers. So that should be a good focus here. And now that our arms industry is fully up, we can see that we're producing 15 small arms and 15 artillery. Let's turn. Let's see. So Tori is standing by at Japan HQ. Japan HQ has 32. Tell you what, is Yozu Tori part of our landowners? So let's make you guys back to irregular infantries and infantry focus. Uh-oh, molasses. A storage tank filled to the brim with molasses intended for rum distillation is burst, flooding the streets of Nagoya's commercial center. Oh crap. Close the distilleries while the wreckage gets cleared, or one tragedy must not stop progress, they become radical. Right now, radicals are going up, 382,000, or food industry throughput gets hit. And that's all food industries. Input and output to all food. No, we'll take the radicalism. We cannot afford to be taking frickin' hits on our food production. That is for sure. All right, so doing that made the arms industries a little bit more tolerable. That's for sure. We're not running a profit, however. So perhaps we need to lower just a bit more. Yeah, because iron and hardwood is about the price they should be, but the artillery and small arms are more expensive than they need to be, and yeah, we need to help our owner out here. So let's do one more round of irregular infantry and an infantry focus. Try to help them out. Just do one at a time so that they're profitable, so that the demand isn't so dang high. Oh, we need ammo. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. So they've got the guns, but they don't have the ammo to fire them. Oh, that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, so we need a munition plant for that ammunition then. 46 weeks. We'll see if they can produce some good ammo. Explosives and lead. So we can make explosive shells. Let's try some explosive shells, why not? Shoot up the damage output for those cannons. Yeah, ammunition spiked right up. We will try to solve that as much as we can. And the last will time out in 9 years. Any building has munition plants. All right, steel railway cars unlocked. Oil rigs we don't have, but railways can get steel passenger carriages, leads to electric railways. All right, so dealing in arms. Once we get this munition plant up, and it will time out in 9 years, in less than a year, we're gonna build our munition plant. Cash reserves are greater than 25%. I believe that is the case. We're like at 75%. Weekly profit greater than 0, occupancy greater than 50. The building level is greater than or equal to 5. Oh man, we need 5 munition plants in order to kick that off. We will see. All right, so with the steel railways, yeah, 3 years for all of that. Is there a quicker society we can do? Nationalism for 33 months. Psychiatry, 7 months. We'll work on psychiatry. Extra bureaucracy cost modifier. That's going to help out our bureaucracy deficit as well. Increasing our profits as well. 13% tax waste. That is crazy. We need some... It's a good thing we do need to build up our government administration. Our urban centers, let's say, to get more bureaucracy out of it. Electrical generation is being spread. Outstanding. So now a 31% chance to enact census suffrage. The intelligentsia and the trade unions endorse it. Yeah, we'll roll with that now. So there's no chance to stall, a very small chance of debate, and a really high chance of advancing. So, yeah, enact census suffrage is placated. Yeah, the landowners hit their tax hit. So we're at 6,000 loss. So hopefully we can keep that bank up, the gold reserves. We should be fine. We can ride this out a bit. And that will get the path to liberalism done, which enacts the freedom, equality, and brotherhood. We'll see what that's all about as we build bullets. Oh, and the Heavenly Kingdom wants artillery produced. That should help it turn a profit. Yeah, so the Heavenly Kingdom wants more artillery, which skyrocketed the price of artillery locally here. But if that trade round, if they're paying that difference, then that's going to make this place profitable. Keep that cash reserve up. And then once we get some ammunition in, we'll see what happens after that. Revolutionary Indian Territory started a stamp out revolution against the United States. What in the world? Where is... Oh crap, Oklahoma is on fire. Revolutionary Indian Territory. Oh snap, led by President Takatatoka Ballard. Rural Fork Reformer Cherokee Protestant. Okay, and who is in charge of the United States these days? Robert Rantoul, a moderate trade union Yankee Protestant. Okay, trade unions are now influential. A workforce ratio improved. That is awesome. Manufacturing industry throughput. That's awesome too. I believe that's going to improve the throughput for things like our arms industry and things like that. Yes, indeed. Allowing more goods to get to market. Outstanding. Yeah, we'll see, especially if we pass this census suffrage vote August 1876, and our government, the next vote, is in 78. So if we pass census suffrage before that next vote, then the people who get to vote are literate men of a particular status. So we'll see if that changes the dynamic of our political parties, and then we'll just have to adjust and make ourselves more legitimate when the time comes. Yeah, luxuries are really, really high so they're impoverished, but they're paying on average 3.7% less. Services are going up, and that's 11% of their expenditures. Furniture is about where it needs to be. So services will be affected when we do the urban centers, I believe. That will help them out. Speaking of which, when we do our urban centers, so we've got our market squares and we've got the gas street lights. If we do public trams, so it just eats up more transportation and fires a bunch of laborers. That doesn't help us at all. So we would need to look at our coal, our glass, and our wood production to get the cost of those services down if we increase the urban center, and that is Kansai. So Kyushu's urban center is size 3. Chugoku's urban center is 1. Shikoku is 1. Kansai we've been building up big. Chubu is 3. Kanto is 2. Tohoku is 1. Yeah, but Japanese Hokkaido, that's... So pop growth is going up. High attraction. Only 6 unemployed. So there's still a lot of people moving in, but there are a lot of jobs to do that needs to be filled. Oh crap. Landowners want to preserve landed voting because of course they do. Well, I mean, they would still be counted in census suffrage, right? There's a high radicalism and a medium support. We need to get this passed quick, fast, and in a hurry before they do anything rash. Come on, pass census suffrage. Popular playwright endorses reform. It will be on everyone's lips now, 10%. Intelligentsia pop attraction or 20 prestige. It'll be on everyone's lips now. 41% chance, come on. 24% chance of stalling now. 33% chance for advancing. When is the next vote on this? 7th of January, 77, so still a year before the next elections. And we'll just use some of our authority to suppress those landowners a bit, get their clout down, so that their preserved landed voting isn't so powerful. Nice. Psychiatry, bureaucracy, population cost multiplier. So population cost, incorporated states and pops from unincorporated states. Hopefully that goes down. Some extra influence. All right, next. All right, in order to get pump jacks for our coffee, cotton, dye, tea, tobacco, sugar, automatic irrigation would be awesome, but we need the steam donkey to do it. 3 years for the steam donkey. Let's push that through. Heavenly Kingdom is importing clothes. So what is that going to do to our clothing prices? Are we producing a lot more clothes than we need to? I don't want our regular population to be affected. Yeah, so we are producing a little bit more. Okay, cool. Oh crap, Afro-American uprising. So it's not the South will rise again, it is President James Mink of the Afro-American uprising, right as America is in the middle of the Indian proletarian revolt. So Civil War might be kicking off in 1876 instead of in the 1860s. All right, munitions plants stood up in Kansai. They're going to use explosives and lead. So we'll see if that lowers the cost of ammunition. All right, now that the ammunition is built up, as soon as we made one bullet, they're like, okay, our market's flooded. We have everything we need. So we need to get our ammunition sent to somebody. I don't know if we can export ammunition. That might be a thing we could do. As well as see if there are any of our units that would be able to use ammunition. So we've got some skirmish infantry that would use some ammunition. Let's change one more to skirmish infantry here. Watch this munition plant. So now there is a need for more ammunition. Hudson Bay has started to improve our mutual relations. Awesome, so Hudson Bay Company, seeing that we exist. Yeah, it's gonna be like a delicate balance here Do we turn on all of our skirmish infantry then? Really put this ammunition to work. We'll do all of Hayashi's group with ammunition. We'll see if our plant responds. Census suffrage. So the roots of democracy. In a show of public support, the citizens of Kansai have volunteered organizing. All right, enactment time and enactment chance. Awesome. Or universal pop political strength. No, send them out. Reduce enactment time and higher enactment success chance. That's, oh nice, it's still gonna come in before the next election. That's what I like to see. A farming boom, agriculture, ranches, and plantation throughput. That's what I like to see. All right, we've turned on skirmish infantry. We're not focusing on artillery as such. We may have to actually export some more of this ammunition, we will see. But the cost of small arms shot up, of course, because, yeah, we're not producing enough guns. Can we export some small arms? Yeah, I think if we build one more arms industry, we will have enough. And that is a really slow build. Is it time for another building? Nice, so 4 weeks and we can get another building. Hopefully get more than 13. Because we were doing okay with 2 buildings, and I think the after the patch that might have adjusted. So once we get them hired up, we'll have some extra construction in. Steel mills are fully employed. Let's get these guys hired in, and then we can start one more arms industry, I believe. And we'll see if that lowers the time once that construction area is done. Hiring in more construction workers. Yeah, really trying to boost that up. We're using up some more wood and fabric, but keeping it real. Yeah, I think this will go a long way into helping, that is for sure. Barracks are fully employed in Kansai. So far, the construction workers have what they need. Steel mill is fully employed and 500 people away from full construction. So we got another, nice, an extra 3 points there and lowered that by quite a bit. That's what I like to see. Ammunition's gone down, explosives up a little bit. T holding steady. So no more debate. 58% chance of success, a 25% chance of advancing, or only a 15% stall. So I'm feeling pretty good. This next time around, we should have census suffrage, and that will be the path to liberalism. And then the next time we have an election, who knows what our parties are going to look like? You know, let's make rifles. That should be okay. We need a little bit more tools, of course. But in order to get this next journal entry, the rifling, we only need to get the building greater or equal to 3, which this is our second level of arms industry here. We should be able to hire a bunch of times, and then we can get modernizing the arsenal, which is awesome. Oh, and of course it didn't pass. The census suffrage reform threatens the power held by leading figures of Japan. All right, less success chance, or more enactment time and less success chance. Well, crap. Japan gets a fresh start. We get -10. Yeah, well, do we have the... I don't like the amount of radicals. So collaborate. We're back down to 43%. Way to go. So a 34% chance of advancing, 21% chance of stalling, 43% chance of success. Holy crap. Yeah, 1877, or yeah, November 1877 will still be in under the next election of March of 1878, but this is like the last chance to have a new group of people voting in the next election. Nice, Heavenly Kingdom taking in more small arms. That's going to keep the small arms industry happy, that's for sure. Gold has been discovered in California, as it do, although that happened in 49, so 77 just a little bit late. Election coming, the Common People's Party. And for whom the bell tolls, the aged Taro Hayashi, leader of the Buddhist monks, has unexpectedly expired mid-campaign, robbing Imperial Rule Party of a cornerstone politician. The question of his replacement is now on everyone's lips. So 10% momentum to the Imperial Rule Party, which is the Buddhist monks. Or a character appears in Japan, the determined but haughty youngster. The popular inept candidate. Yeah, the popular inept candidate. Why not? And that is a general dead, leaving only the 80-year-old landowner traditionalist Yozu Tori as a commander. And looking at the interest groups, the Buddhist monks have 70% of the vote. So 58%, an adjustment in the popularity. Constitutional Reform Party going down, and the Common People's Party, the peasants. All right, so we've got 3 parties looks to be coming in. And those Buddhist monks are projecting a ton. Now, that's going to change if we get census suffrage in before the election, that is for sure. Come on, census suffrage. We need you. There we go. Extra authority, outstanding. Political strength from literate pop votes, 15 wealth. All right, 50 legitimacy from government clout. The 70 legitimacy from votes unlocks women's suffrage. And now, that is going to really... The path to liberalism fully completed, freedom, equality, and brotherhood. Intelligentsia leader Nabeshima has ushered in an era of liberal politics. Nabeshima is a fearless visionary. Extra popularity, freedom of trade, and freedom of thought. So what do those, come on now, what do those do? Okay, other political, all right, a reformer, radical, or the liberal trailblazer, extra popularity. Nabeshima is a fearless visionary. All right, sweet. So now what does that election look like? It should recalculate. We're going to have a lot of different folks voting here in 98 days. Arms industry about to stand up. All right, bureaucracy unlocked. Government administration building unlocked. Local police force, international trade, centralization, all that good stuff. A donation of knowledge. The industrialist wants to spend their personal wealth to get a university in Tohoku. Wonderful idea. Awesome. Next up, let's build up some government administration, try to get our tax waste down. As well as improve our bureaucracy, taxation capacity, and urbanization. We may actually need to do some more government administration buildings in all of our states to, industrialize Japan. So we need an urban center greater than or equal to 5, and everybody has a railroad. So that's something to work toward as well. Election just a month away. Looking at numbers, it looks like the Imperial Rule Party with the Buddhist monks have a lot of momentum, that is for sure. So right of assembly or protected speech gets freedom of thought. And then we have to improve a university greater to 3 and have an arts academy to get freedom of thought. Freedom of trade. We can become marketplace of the world if we increase our trade routes by 25%. Interesting enough. I mean, if we are producing a crap ton of grain, we can export that, as well as liquor is cheap and paper is cheap. But if we're doing government administration, yeah, we're going to need the paper. If we send out a convoy to the British market for grain, 75 of our grain will be exported. And 3 days to the election. We'll see what the new administration looks like. The results are in. 62% for the Imperial Rule Party, the Common People's Party, the Constitutional Reform Party. We're 85% legitimate. The trade union wants to join the common people. So that would be peasants. Okay. And then the armed forces wants to join constitutional reform, which is intelligentsia. Interesting enough. So let's reform the government. Yeah, I don't want to take the legitimacy hit. If we move in the trade unions and armed forces, sure, they'll join. The trade unions will be in the Common People's Party, which that will boost up the peasants as well. The Constitutional Reform Party with the armed forces, that'll make the Intelligentsia's party a little bit happier as well. Just trying to offset maybe the Imperial Rule Party. We are still a legitimate government. It will give us access to some more laws and possibly some more power. Why not? Let's confirm it. We'll lose just a little bit, but we won't drop out of an unlegitimate government. So we've got the trade unions now a part of the Common People's Party, and the armed forces now part of the Constitutional Reform, and in order. So they're influential. Now they're influential. Yep. All right, so the next, freedom of thought, right of assembly, or protected speech. Now, if we were to go to censorship, we have a 24% chance of right of assembly. From the intelligentsia and the trade unions, landowners would really oppose that. It would radicalize them, and they're already a little bit upset about restoring landed voting as well. So if we hit them hard again, I don't know if they would stand up. But 1 in 4 chance, why not? 12%, 36% chance of stall, 27% chance of debate. And that is where we will leave it for this one. We are through almost with the Meiji Restoration. Once the big part is the industrializing Japan. So we need urban centers greater or equal to 5 and has a railway in 70% of the eligible states. So one thing we're going to have to take a look at, and we've got the investment pool to do it, is build railroads in, yeah, there's no railway in Chubu. There's no railway, yeah, no railway in Kanto, Tohoku. Yeah, so we've got some places that we can build railways. And in order to sustain that, we'll need engines. Looking at our engine production, how high are they? 27% more expensive, so we might have to start building a lot more engines to get a railway in our incorporated states. And we will see what happens next time. But like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next Victoria 3 video. Take care.